Disney, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. One day, Mickey and Goofy are playing chess when a frog jumps onto the chessboard. Goofy tries to grab the frog, but it hops onto the silly switch. The silly switch sends the pals and the frog into the kitchen. The frog jumps onto the faucet, spilling water everywhere. Gosh, says Mickey, we need to catch that frog before he causes more trouble. Toodles arrives with the Mouseketools. Mickey chooses the net and catches the frog. Poor little fella must be lost, says Mickey. We need to get to the countryside, says Mickey. Oh, Toodles! The frog points to the bicycle Mouseketool. Before Mickey can climb onto the bicycle, the frog jumps on the handlebars and speeds away. Straight ahead is a cliff. Mickey stops the bicycle just in time. Now Mickey and the frog need to climb down the cliff. When Toodles appears, Mickey chooses a rope. Safe on the ground, the frog leads Mickey to a river. Toodles brings one more Mouseketool. Up Mickey and the frog cross the river. Then Mickey follows the frog all the way to a big stone wall. Boy, we must be really close, says Mickey. On the other side of the wall is the pond. Hooray! The frog is very happy to be home. Glad I could help, little fella, says Mickey. Boy, what a hot dog, lost frog day.
Disney Pixar Cars. Lightning McQueen has moved his racing headquarters to Radiator Springs. Now the town is busier than ever. Lightning has an idea about how to help the town even more. Let's build a racetrack right here in Radiator Springs. The next day, Lightning shares his idea with the other townsfolk. We're behind you 100%, says Sheriff. With his friends' help, Lightning's idea comes to life. Doc, Sarge, and Sheriff help draw up plans. When the visitors arrive, Lightning is busy. All morning, he helps his friends take care of their customers. That afternoon, he gives Otto, a race car from Germany, a tour of the most interesting places in town. When Lightning and Otto do a practice race that evening, Lightning is so tired that Otto beats him by a whole lap. Later that night, Sally reminds Lightning to get a good night's sleep. To race your best, you need to feel your best, Sally tells him. Finally, race day arrives. Lightning is rested, but he's still behind Otto with one lap to go. Then he remembers how his friends helped make his racetrack dream come true. I'm going to win this for Radiator Springs, Lightning thinks. He zooms forward, right beside Otto. The cars take the final lap as the crowd goes wild. They speed towards the finish line. Lightning wins! Disney Pixar Toy Story 3. Andy is going to college. He decides to bring along just one favorite toy, Sheriff Woody. The other toys think that Andy is throwing them away. Sunnyside Daycare sounds better than the trash can. So the toys climb into Andy's mother's car. But Woody wants to tell his friends that Andy still loves them. Woody follows his friends. At Sunnyside, Andy's toys meet Lotso, the friendly bear in charge. Woody thinks they should go back to Andy's house. They don't belong here. But Jessie and the others want to stay. Soon, Buzz and the gang discover that the children at Sunnyside don't play with toys like Andy did. Then, Buzz finds out that Lotso isn't really a nice guy. Lotso tricks Buzz into locking up his pals. Woody comes up with a plan to bust his friends out of Sunnyside. They will exit through the garbage chute across the playground. When Lotso learns about the plan, he decides to dispose of these troublesome toys once and for all in the incinerator at the garbage dump. But the aliens and the Claw come to the rescue. Woody and his friends hurry back to Andy. Before he leaves for college, Andy gets an idea. He gives his favorite toys to a child who will love them as much as he always has. and always will. Disney Pixar, The Incredibles. Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl use their superpowers to protect the city from bad guys. Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl try to live a normal life as Bob and Helen Parr. Their children, though, have superpowers too. Bob likes to sneak out and help people. One day, he helps a woman named Mirage. She asks him to shut down the Omnidroid 9000. But it's a trap. Mirage works for Syndrome, Mr. Incredible's nemesis. Now, Mr. Incredible needs help. He's trapped on Syndrome's island. Meanwhile, Helen discovers that Edna Mode has designed new super suits for Bob and the whole family. Helen and the kids don their new suits and track Bob down. Elastigirl finds Mr. Incredible, but Syndrome's guards are right behind them. The family repels the guards using their combined superpowers. Syndrome has another trick, though. He suspends the supers in his immobiles, then leaves to carry out his evil plans. Syndrome sends a new Omnidroid to attack the city, but the machine attacks Syndrome instead. With Syndrome gone forever, the supers defeat the Omnidroid and save the city. The people welcome their new heroes, the Incredibles. Disney Pixar, Monsters Incorporated. James P. Sullivan, also known as Sully, is the top scarer at Monsters Incorporated. With the help of his assistant and best friend, Mike, Sully sneaks through children's closet doors from the scare floor and scares them. The captured screams are used as an energy source to power the city of Monstropolis. One night, Sully finds a door left wide open on the scare floor. The girl clings to Sully's tail and won't let go. No child has ever entered the monster world before. Monsters think children are toxic. Sully panics and takes the little girl home with him. Sully plays peekaboo from behind a chair. The girl giggles. Mike dances around in a silly costume. She laughs even harder. Suddenly, the power surges throughout the building. Laughter produces even more power than screams. Sully learns that children aren't really toxic after all. Now, the scare floor at Monsters Incorporated is the laugh floor, thanks to the giggling little girl who Sully calls Boo.
Disney Pixar, Up. Carl Fredricksen is a lonely old man. Carl has always wanted to travel to South America. Now Carl decides that it's finally time for an adventure. Then Carl finds a stowaway, a helpful junior wilderness explorer named Russell. The house lands near the spot where Carl wants to live. Along the way, Carl and Russell meet a friendly dog named Doug. Together, they make another new friend, a big, strange mama bird. Then Doug's pack mates, Alpha, Beta, and Gamma show up. They aren't friendly like Doug. Months has changed, and not for the better. He wants Kevin for his animal collection. Carl always wanted an adventure in South America, and now he's found one. Saving Kevin. With help from Russell and Doug, Carl foils Months and brings Kevin back to her baby birds. Carl has lost a hero in Charles Months and, surprise, discovered one in himself. Disney Pixar, WALL-E. In the year 2805, Earth is so dirty that humans have left it for outer space. WALL-E likes his work, but he is lonely. One day, WALL-E finds something new and surprising. Then WALL-E gets another surprise. A huge spaceship lands and unloads a sleek robot named Eve. WALL-E thinks Eve is beautiful. He watches her as she zooms around, scanning everything. When a sandstorm hits, WALL-E shelters Eve in his trailer. He tries to make her laugh and shows her his treasures, including the plant. The plant seems important to Eve. She scans it and puts it in a storage compartment in her chest. Then she goes to sleep. WALL-E can't make Eve wake up again, but he takes good care of her until the spaceship returns and beams her aboard. WALL-E doesn't want to lose his new friend, so he grabs onto the spaceship as it blasts off into space. Wally will follow Eve all the way to the stars. Disney Tangled. Once upon a time, a queen was about to have a baby, but she became ill. A mean old woman named Mother Gothel needed the flower's magic to stay young. Mother Gothel hid Rapunzel in a tower. A thief named Flynn sees the tower and decides to hide there. "Take me to see the lanterns," Rapunzel says to Flynn. Rapunzel and Flynn's journey to the kingdom is filled with adventure. Flynn takes Rapunzel to see the floating lanterns. Mother Gothel tricks Rapunzel back to the tower. Flynn is wounded trying to rescue her. Rapunzel promises to stay. Flynn doesn't want Rapunzel to be trapped again. He cuts her long hair and it loses its magic. Sad that she can't help Flynn, Rapunzel begins to weep. Her golden teardrop heals Flynn. Rapunzel returns to her real parents. Lanterns light up the sky, and Rapunzel and Flynn